Going to be gluing the flap to the back, and I've masked the area so that we get a reasonable glue line, which looks pretty unimpressive here. Probably have to put a little bit more glue on. The glue is only there to locate. It's not there for super strength, and I'll then be stitching. So putting the flap on about like that, exactly where I want it, and I'll now be able to glue it. Because I masked it, it gives me a nice clean glue line. The pouch is going to come over the front like that, and this will come down like that over it. I'm now going to mark 2 lines of stitching, because the back, which is glued in there, and the glue is there to just hold in position while I do all my stitching. And I'm marking 2 lines of stitching parallel to each other, nice and neat and tidy. Having done that, you can see the little marks there perhaps. I'm going to use my board here, which you'll notice has a groove in it. The groove is there for a reason, in that I can punch through with my awl, and when I punch through the leather I'm going into the groove, not forcing into the plastic backing board here, and it makes it much easier to make the holes. So I start about there, punch, then going to miss 2, punch again, miss 2, punch again. So we end up with a nice uniform stitch, which is a reflection of the work you're trying to achieve, the quality of the work you're trying to achieve. So I'll be going down like this, down the line, quietly doing that. When I'm done, I'll be using tailor stitch. I'll have 2 needles, one from either side coming through, and I'll stitch down the back, come across, come back down here and up to my starting point there. And they'll then be tied off. I'm using sinew, which is a synthetic sinew. It looks like sinew, it's waxed, and I'll be using that. And when I've tied the knot off, I'll just be burning the tips of it to put a little bobble on it to stop the knot coming undone. So I'll come back when that's done. These are some little toggles that I'm going to be using for the catch on the pouch, and one of these will be affixed to the cap. In fact, we can see here that I've already got it poking through. It's on the inside, has not been stitched down yet, the reason being that that adjustment will be done when the pouch part is fitted below, and the pouch part will come onto here. It will be sewn and attached like that. So the other end of the catch is going to consist of a piece of leather like that. It's laid up in such a way that it will form nicely over the toggle. It will go through 2 holes in the pouch there. It will be fixed in place, possibly with a couple of stitches, maybe with a piece of leather backing it, and when that is done, then the pouch part will be ready for fixing to the backing. So that's what we're looking at doing in the next 10 minutes or so. We'll come back to you when we're ready to fix the pouch to the backing. So the pouch has been glued up. We can see I say glued up, the little catch has been glued to the pouchy part, and we can see stitches down below which are hidden. When the pouch is worn on the belt, we can't see the stitches. They're nicely out of sight. So glue has been applied to both surfaces, and now the pouch is going to be glued to the backing, and then it will be stitched up, and then we'll be moving towards the final part of assembly. So we'll just go and do that now. Well, we can see that the pouch part has been glued and stitched, and it's looking quite tidy. The catch arrangement here is pretty good. It's adjusted, nice tightness. There's a little stitch to go in just here, and that will secure the toggle in the right position so that it's easy to undo. And all that remains really after this, apart from polishing, is to fix the loops. And what I have here is the strap that goes over to go on the belt. It goes over like that on the back, and they fold down and they get stitched. Now on the underside of those we can see I've glued a little piece of leather, and there's a reason for that. It'll be folded, glued and stitched there. Now where two pieces of leather come together and are stitched with a curve like that, we end up with a V. And the V will bind on your belt and it will stick. And if you want to adjust your belt, it's a little bit annoying if you can't slide it on your belt. But by putting a little block in there and stitching it nicely in position, we'll just a little extra attention to detail there. So I expect this to be finished very shortly. I've just got the polishing to do, those couple of things. It's probably about 10 minutes work, quarter of an hour's work on this. And then the polishing will take maybe 20 or 30 minutes. And it will be complete. I hope you've enjoyed this. Richard Lees, leesrichard93@gmail.com. tinderbox.co.nz is my website, and I have a personal FB page as well for Richard Lees, which has some of my craft work on it. Thank you for taking the time to have a look at this.